Hello, good morning, and welcome to Monday, the 20th of July. God, that bright. It's so bright. All right. Okay, so guys, we are heading into some full-on times. I'm sure that you're seeing it everywhere. Um, it's just so much. I'm up to the 29th, which is or the 30th. I'm sort of just about to do the words for the 30th, and between now and then, just reinforce yourself, okay? So I want you to just really do all the things to make sure that you can manage with the energy that is coming. All right, even just, I was just watching Stefan Burns, actually Mix or something last night. There is a massive coronal hole that is going to be getting us in a couple of days. And honestly, this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are like, oh my fucking God. So again, we are reinforcing ourselves. So just think of all the things that you do have on your plate right now. Good morning, Christy. How are you? So all the things that you have on your plate right now, I'm sure they are challenging within themselves. And then you've got this other level of self-worth and self-belief that is starting to grow, and it is challenging you to just get through these perceived challenges and difficulties. And like I'm sort of using the analogy throughout the week. Good morning, Sally. I mean, not only do we have this basket, which I got a great email off Tessa, thank you so much. uh, and she's likened it to not just a basket, but also a coffin. All right. So, in the beginning, we have the baby's bassinet, and then at the end, we have the coffin. And both of those things, they contain life. All right. So, there's all of these polarities that are happening at the same time. So, yes, I will sort of put this bit more towards the end, I think, but I'm just very excited about it. Good morning, Sean. And not just excited, but it's just so much like going through these next, 10 days or whatever. Good morning, Susan. Um, I'm just really like, it's well, even one of the days, it was like, this is about managing your energy. Good morning, Louise. All right, here we go. Chink. Hmm. There we go. This is about managing your energy well, knowing that there is a shit ton of cosmic forces on you. All right. So you're being challenged to be better than yourself. You're being triggered by having to adapt new ways of being, because you can see that the old ways of being, you don't want to be there. You're like, I've let that go. But now it's the I don't quite know what I'm doing, but I know I'm heading in that way. So, and another one that I sort of picked up was, it's like you've got to a point where you're just about to go out on stage, right? You've worked hard, you've embraced your authenticity, you know that what you have to say and share is worthy, and you're getting ready for your first 10,000 person stadium or something like that, right? So there's still work to be done in the background, all the people behind the stage getting ready, the microphones are, clipped on, and you're like, you've got stage fright, but you're still going up to that lectern. You're still going to go and do the things. So again, there's the light at the end of the tunnel. There's the goal that is the achievement. But in the meantime, you've got to manage yourself and your potentially, way heightened emotions to get to that point. So here I feel like it's like the open door or something, seeing it all for its good and bad points. This full moon that's coming on the 30th for us is, the sun and Jupiter are going to be conjunct. Amazing. All right. There's that life on stage sort of event. However, the moon and Pluto are going to be conjunct. So at the same time, while the sun is approaching Jupiter, it is also in this full moon type of phase with Pluto. So you're seeing all of that Pluto influence, whether it's subterranean power or old triggers and trauma, or, you know, understanding that the situations that you've gone through are the golden jewels that are wedged in the tunnel that you're moving through. Like you can see it all, but it's still dark. So feeling really great with all the changes. Awesome. Again, there's that. You can see all the good things, but the challenges are still there. You still have to confront all of those old fears, let things go, blah, blah, blah. So back to today. Again, look, this is my words for today. You know how many, like I often, it's just like fucking so much. All right, let's go back to all right, the words. All right, deliberate action is required today, especially if you feel a little bit off balance. All right, so we do have the moon in Libra. It moved there at about 3 p.m. yesterday. So this is about tapping into that heightened awareness and choosing your next words carefully, because we do have the moon is going to be square Mercury between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. Now, we've only got a couple of days before Mercury goes station direct. It is currently at 17 degrees and it goes direct at 16 degrees. So it's basically stationary, or really not sort of moving too far too fast. So be aware of communication and all of those Mercury snafus, cars, transport, technology, mail, communication, education, blah, blah, blah. Good morning, Cara. How are you? All right. So imagine, oh, and here's the thing. Imagine having a hot drink, okay? And you've got to get from one side of the room to the other. But this thing is like full, like all the things on your plate. So it's the slow, deliberate action that is going to get you to the other side of the room without spilling the tea. And I just saw, when I thought about that, I thought of RuPaul, and I'm like, especially with the moon in Libra, partnerships, square Mercury, stationary in Cancer. So be careful for unintentionally maybe exposing a secret, like or like some sort of words that are going to cause some sort of challenge. So again, if you are tapped into this heightened awareness, because it's a lot, maybe you'll know which things to say when and when not to. All right. So tomorrow is the big day. So tomorrow, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the absolute heads up. So tomorrow night we go, the moon moves into Scorpio. All right. So this is where today we're seeing the relationships for what they are. And then tomorrow we have to go deep into those fields. All right. This basket configuration um, is coming into its exactitude with all of the days. But you know, yeah, there's a lot. So, okay. So most of the stuff that we're experiencing today is going to be this afternoon. Or like I said, between 10 and 10, the square Mercury. Again, watch for, you know, you not saying the right thing or it not being received the right way. Okay, so partnerships, balance, everybody's feeling like, just be careful. So read the room, use your intuition to see how the other person is before you start speaking. Okay. Okay, so at 4 a.m., we had that Mars sextile Saturn. I've been up since 4:30. And I have got a lot of work done today already. So there's that, you know, I didn't read that this morning. I just got up and I just started working away. So you've got the potential this morning to get some good work done. But again, watch for the people that you work with or your family. So 6 p.m., there is an opposition to Saturn. That is, so it's currently now. So it might feel like it's hard work. I have had to do a lot of, I usually have a piece of paper next to me as my distraction pad so I don't go shiny thing all the time. And I'm like, all right, my brain's like, you got to do this thing. And I'm like, I will do that later. All right. I know it's important, but it's going to be over there. All right. So that way it sort of tends to stop the obsessive need to go do other things. Good morning, Barbara. How are you? So their opposition to Saturn, don't let it feel too hard. Just put it to the side and do it when it's appropriate. Now, trine to Mars at 7 p.m., Mars in Gemini. All right, so Moon in Libra in a harmonious or a good flow with Mars in Gemini. So maybe the conversations that need to be had, or, like if you are putting off a conversation because of you think of how it's going to be received, maybe waiting till that afternoon, evening would be it will be better received. Okay. So there's that. So, like in the sky right now, oh, and sorry, Jupiter is, okay, all right. We had the Mars sextile Saturn, good for working today. Now, at 4 p.m., we have Jupiter in Leo, trine Neptune in Aries. All right, hang on, let me get my glasses. So that is more about spiritual inspiration and a new leadership or vision that could come in. All right, so that's around that 4 p.m. mark. We are Jupiter in Leo. It's just making all of our confidence expand. But again, on the other side, we've got to watch that our ego doesn't allow us to, or allow our ego to become a little bit overinflated. I don't think that's really what I want to say, but I think it needs to be said because it could be other people that you're looking at with an overinflated ego. And again, you don't want to just go up with your, Scorpio influence and pop that thing because again, Moon square Mercury. You might be like, dude, come down a little bit, but it might not do you a good service to be doing that. Just hold off. All right, now at 12 a.m. tomorrow morning, we have that Jupiter opposition Pluto exact. All right, so that's sort of making that basket configuration exact. And it's all just a matter of containment, really. Like again, there is so much energy in the air that it's just about managing yourself, especially if you are sensitive, okay? Or especially if you do have things going on that are triggering. And maybe life is showing you that other opportunities are awaiting, but you've got to deal with what you're in right now. And what you're in right now might not feel that good, but ultimately, it's going to be for the best in the long run, but it doesn't fucking help you now. So again, all right. So, because there's all this attraction repel, all right. So that Jupiter Pluto, like the moon, full moon coming, this bright, shiny, awesome Jupiter Cazimi with a full moon conjunct Pluto, all right. So, a lot. Okay. So the sun. Let's have a look at the sun because we've looked at the moon because this sun stuff that's happening is so vast. So Sun conjunct Jupiter, trine Neptune, opposition Pluto, square Chiron, in conjunct the North Node. All right. So all of those things are, believe in yourself, have something worthy to inspire you. Some sort of spiritual inspiration is needed, even though there's an aspect of, what are the facts, what's the science, what's the data, what's the real world influence. There needs to be a spiritual component to this. All right, you have to have some sort of feeling and sensory experience or belief system or faith, so we've got these warring polarities. Now, all of these things also, we're going to have that divine inspiration. There's that Uranus in Gemini, making connections to all of the other planets. And yeah, a massive realignment. The sun in conjunct the North Node. We're heading towards a realignment. Once all of these things become exact, it's like a dominoes effect. So to go through the week quickly. All right. Again, deliberate action required today. All right. Heightened awareness that you're very aware of. Tomorrow, all right, Tuesday, Opening a can of worms with someone will help you fill the basket with fish. So, not only is it a basket and a coffin, but it's also using this opportunity to, yes, opening a can of worms, which could be uncomfortable and slimy, but the fish, it's you're ultimately going to be nurturing yourself or giving yourself future opportunity to, be fulfilled, sustained, nurtured, nutrition, blah blah blah. So again, there's a lot of accepting a truth, all right? The opposition to Pluto, the shadows are there, the darkness is there. The facts are that you could be in a situation which is desperate or dark, or but the light is still at the end of the tunnel. All right. So Wednesday, it comes to this, if we're accepting the truth, then we're like, the words for that day, it's up to us to break generational curses. If someone says it runs in the family, you say this is where it runs out. All right. So there is decisive action, but it's because you're in the shadow, but you can still see the light. All right. Thursday, there might be adjustment periods required. Again, maybe not that easy. And then on Friday, we have this experience where the hero leaves the cave. All right, he, using the, any of the hero's journey analogies. Frodo or Bilbo, they achieve their goal, but then they have to get back. All right, and then in that reverse journey, they're contemplating all of the hard realities of what they had to experience, but they are forever changed. The scars might be invisible or, not seen by everyone else, but they are forever, or you are forever changed by this experience. So, we have some confidence moving into the following week, but it doesn't take away from the fact that, all of these things are going to be here and only slowly moving away. So let's draw a Dreamweavers to summarize this week, or, maybe what's the most valuable lesson that we can get after this. I don't think there's anybody that's not being affected by this, because it is across mutable, it's across everything, all right? So it's the early degrees of so many signs that I think everybody's going to have some sort of influence of change here. So yeah, look at those areas of your life that are full on at the moment. And I don't know, how can these things change and nurture you for the better, ultimately? And what's the end goal? What's that you up on stage, regardless of what you have to go through to get there? Which much drink their brew again. All right, that's interesting. Okay, card number 9. Okay. So being unapologetically comfortable in who you are and trusting and knowing your own magic, being authentic and inspired, and the courage to own your values and who you are, and not succumbing to the spell of society. I freaking love that. All right, this is definitely about being who you are now, all right, and having to walk that path unapologetically. But it is going to take courage, and it is going to take new boundaries and new inspiration to do that. Good morning, Elizabeth. How are you? All right. So do you trust in your own magic? You should, because there is no one like you. Your essence is brimming with life force and purpose, unique to you. This is your magic elixir, so drink it down and cast off what does not serve you. Being fully yourself now is what's required. Nothing less will do. Yes, it takes courage to cast off the spells of society with all its expectations, manipulations, restrictions, to claim your true expression. That includes family, family of origin, hereditary, tradition, all the things. So do you worry about the consequences that you won't fit in? These are times when a new world is being birthed, and that is so true with this basket. Your truest note in the symphony of life can only be played by you. This is how you serve the whole world in harmony with others to create the sweetest of music. This is a time when you ask yourself, what is truly authentic to you? What is in or out of alignment with your values? Adjust your life where you need to, for this is a profound time to stand up, shine, and be seen. Drink in your magic, share it with the world, and be bold. When a witch must drink their brew, they are at a profound moment to their own magic, just like you, and you were born for these times. So, absolutely, an attitude of gratitude is seriously the best sort of way to perceive all of this. And again, just being you. Like you've got to a point where you're casting off all those old expectations and, the pressure to be something that you're not anymore. And everybody is changing. So, oh, again, guys, like I'm doing these next couple of weeks, and I'm not surprised. I'm like in awe of the amount of opportunity and power that we have at our disposal, but the amount of challenge to move through our own fears. We know what we're capable of. We know that we're worthy, but it's still taking effort to just take those steps. And again, it's small steps every day. It's this over this extended period of time. Like the 29th is the well, actually, so we've got Venus square Mars on the 29th, the Sun conjunct Jupiter, the Cazimi, and then on the full moon at like 12:30 in the morning, we have that full moon in Leo and Aquarius with the Sun conjunct over Sun opposition Pluto, blah blah blah. I could keep going. Like there are just so many things that are all just dominoing into each other. So big deep breaths, gather all of the things you need to make sure, get your toolboxes out. All right, get your toolboxes and have a squeeze and see, what have I used before that has helped me cope with trying times? Or I don't know, do you need to like write a little message on your hand so that when you find yourself in a heightened state, you can ground yourself, because you're like, oh, that's right, I'm expecting this. It's not me, it's everything. So yeah, guys, good luck with this. Hey, I am home all week, and if anybody is in a situation which is again um, heightened, I've already got quite a few bookings happening. So there are people out there going, "What the fuck is going on?" So if you need, reach out. And yeah, I'm around, guys. Mwah. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, and again, just be present.